Getting cracking right into it. RV United Motorsports moment of the week for sure has to be Eli Tomac. He's won it. He's won on 4 different manufacturers. Really not a surprise. I think that was his 54th Supercross win. I want to ask you, straight up from a fan question, Fit Freak. Does Eli look better on a KTM than a Yamaha? What you think, RV? Give us your take on it. What you
Yeah,
saw?
RC, that was a big question mark. We saw him get to race overseas on the KTM, get his feet wet. And we all kind of saw how that went. A decent round and then a pretty terrible round for him, overseas, like I said. But A1 was a little bit of a question mark. Obviously there's a lot of hype around A1, just the nerves and everything that comes into it. But I'm going to be honest, I thought Eli by far looked the best out of everybody that rode that track that night. And just I don't know if the time expired over there at Yamaha, the bike, the this, the that. Obviously, I don't know, the real ins and outs of what Eli was dealing with. But I'm going to be honest, I think he looked better on that KTM. It looked like it was working all night. He said they nailed it on the setup for the main event. He said the bike was the best all day in the main event, which is obviously the goal, to go from 2-time practices, heat races, and then into the main event. But yeah, Kenny rode strong, kept him honest, but man, Eli was just on rails, and it was very impressive to see, because I think there was a question mark in a lot of guys' heads, or a lot of fans' heads. How is Eli going to do making that big transition from a Japanese manufacturer to the Austrian brand, from the aluminum frame to the steel frame? Well, I think he answered it, and I think he started off this 2026 season with a bang. That's for sure.
When you were watching him, I mean, you say he looked good, right? And I think he did too. And not only did he look good, but I thought that his motorcycle looked good as I was thumbing through our questions for our show today. I mean, he looked like riding the Yamaha. He looked great, but I felt that his bike looked really, really good, compliant. It looked balanced, maybe not quite as tall in the rear. Maybe I think we talked about this already. I thought it looked low when I saw him in the off season, but I think it's just the way that the plastics are, because he said it's not any lower in the rear than what his Yamaha was. But I just thought that outside of him looking good, I thought the bike looked really, really good as well. I mean, he had a couple little hiccups here and there, but dude, he just for the first race, and I feel like the track, I don't know, do you feel like the track conditions hard and slick like that maybe made it look better than it really was, or do you just like?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it multiple times, the pros and cons of the different bikes, different manufacturers, different setups. I did think the bike looked compliant. It looked like he had traction. It looked like he could turn that motorcycle pretty much anywhere he wanted to turn it. I thought the whole package that he showed up with at A1 was pretty spot on. And I think that's hard to do sometimes. I've shown up at Anaheim 1 and nailed it. And I've shown up more times than not and had a fire drill on Tuesday at the test track. Right. So I think it was, the KTM group, they nailed it. Eli nailed it. Rode phenomenal. But, yeah, I think RC, what do you think of Tomac's very first win for the Austrian brand?
I think it's unbelievable, straight up. I think that he looked great all day long. I think that I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think he's the guy to beat for the championship. I touched on it a little bit in the broadcast. The reason, if he's able to stay healthy, and I know it's a big if, right? I just think that he is the most well-rounded of the championship contenders, I think. And he's even openly said it, RV. What's the difference now compared to where he was when he was at Factory Cowie? Then when he went to Yamaha, I think he took another step up in the right direction when he was at Yamaha. The starts were better. I just think mentally he was better. He didn't let little things bother him. And now with his age, I just think, like, dude, he's in his prime as far as the mental game goes. and you know this better than anybody, that's what you need, because he's got speed, he's got strength, he's got the knowledge on bike setup, and looks like he's got a great team underneath him. And that's why I think that he's the favorite. Will he be as fast as far as a qualifying time goes compared to a guy like Chase? No, I think Chase has more talent on a motorcycle as far as skills that he could do, maybe wheel tap and shit, stuff like that. But that's not what you always need to win a championship. So I think the win was, and just looking at long game, I think the guys, his competitors outside of Kenny looked incredible. Like you said, really not a surprise. It's his third year on the bike. The thing is absolutely zoned in. So that wasn't a surprise for me. And I think Kenny's going to be good, but I think everybody else they got some catch up to do. So I don't know. I was super impressed. And then you talk about like the Yamaha and why he switched to KTM. I mean, you and I think I've heard a little bit of why and how, and I don't know that he wanted to leave Yamaha. I think that he had a good relationship there. I think that there was some business decisions that needed to be made. I think that he was waiting for other offers just to see, and maybe the offer wasn't there anymore at Yamaha. I don't know. And he just happened to go to KTM and take the deal. And I think it's like it worked out to be almost better for him. Because honestly, I don't ever hear him being bummed with Yamaha.
No, neither do I. And I totally agree with what you said. And I think that confidence are for him are on an all-time high, especially coming out A1 and having that night. I think it's he's in a great spot for the rest of these, for the rest of this West Coast swing. I truly believe that.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be, again, I think I'm going to go ahead and say it. And I said it on the SMX post-race show, dude. He is the guy to beat for the championship. If he stays healthy, it's game on, because he got robbed when he blew out his Achilles. I mean, he was a race and a half away from locking up his championship there. And so we'll see. That's where I'm at. Before we go to the Boxo breakdown, head over to United Motorsports, unitedmotorsports.com/title24, enter your email. You get a $15 credit toward your first purchase, and then you will be entered into a $50 giveaway to your next purchase online there. So head over to United Sports /title24. You got to sit next to Big Ray at the race, huh?
I did. Yeah, I think that was the first time that I got to meet Big Ray at United Motorsports in person. Love to get out. We were talking about your guys' adventure rides and how much fun it is. And the guy looks like a hoot, that's for sure.
He's a damn good time and a hell of a motorcycle rider. Just a great person.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports. If you enjoyed what you just watched, well, it's time to bring the action and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel. You can have it all: news, highlights, interviews, and analysis. So go for it.